Gold H4 time frame. Last week, price was mostly sideways, no downside or upside breakout. And your new static support can be 27.16. This is new support. If this breakout, then next will be near 2680 area, where you have trend line on daily time frame. But this is your first support. And in case of upside breakout, a breakout come, then there is no limit how high price can go, because it is trading at all-time high. Plus, this is last week before US election. Plus, you have Fomc blackout. So high risk, and you can see big player trading with billions. So either they buy or sell something, there will be big action in market. So currently this area is near psychological level 2750. You saw 3 rejection on intraday. A breakout come goes more up because this Friday move from this support area. There is new war news. A bar increase more Saturday, Sunday and before Monday open. Then 2800 will be our next psychological level. Because you saw big correction before 2700. So obviously if 2800 hit, possibility of profit taking. Because since that CPI news, it is constantly going up and up. So there was pellar channel on H1 last week. I guide you before breakout to downside, then retest of lower trend line, failed to make new lower low. So on Friday, that head and shoulder chart pattern, that trade become crowded because my Instagram DM was full of same chart pattern and arrow like downside. So now that chart pattern invalid, or crowd must be changing their perspective. So psychologically 2750, you have already seen 3 correction from this area last week. Next one will be 2800 and first support is 2716 and next support will be near 2680 area. And we don't know how market will react to this new war news, but it was up on Friday and news came, and more action on Monday open depend on war news. If you see daily chart, you have this trend line, price is sideways. If trend line retest again, then you have support area, you can buy retest of trend line. But as long as price trading over this trend line, technically it is bullish. And after this triangle chart pattern from this area, these are possible 5 impulsive wave with the extension in third wave. So last week you can see up, then sideways. And if you see demand, then ETF demand will only grow. COT price up last week and they increased their position again last week. Third, India festive buying season. You know, many jewelers in India are saying high price can decrease demand. So this is last week, then Diwali coming, then marriage buying season will start again. But this is your number 2 gold consumer market. And their prime minister, you know, BRICS meeting last week. You can watch his Twitter account, all the famous photo and videos. It feels like number 2 consumer market, their prime minister, the policy maker who influenced recently gold market by a big tax cut, and in last US election he totally killed gold, but still gold is controlled by USA. This is last week before all of this big news hit the gold market at the same time. Fed interest rate decision, I think either they will skip or do 50 basis point in November. US election result, and last week of your October month. And many big news this week which will decide Fed interest rate decision and US election result next week which will decide Fed interest rate decision. First you have 29 October JOLTS report, expect big action. Then 30 October ADP, PCE on quarterly basis and your big GDP indicator. Then 31 October BOJ interest rate decision, and you have seen in August and July what BOJ did. So again you can expect big action. If Fed goal is to pause interest rate in November FOMC meeting, then watch carefully what BOJ do this week. Then PCE on yearly basis and your job claim. Then last, first day of new month, your Friday, your biggest news NFP. If you see this week, NFP and GDP, these are two big news this week, but these are before US election, the last week. And I don't think all of those news combined are more important than election result. Because I don't think it has been 2 years Biden constantly fighting recession by fiscal or either monetary policy. All of those indicators after 2 year work of Biden, they will show big change before election. I don't think you will see zero or negative NAP before election. I hope all of these indicators are designed by Biden to justify their political goal. But still these are big indicators. Because of election, I don't think they will show any big shocking change. Only soft landing. So that's the problem which I said in Telegram, that it feel like only emergency meeting from Fed can stop gold. And suddenly one by one there was flood of speaker last week. There was Wall Street Nick and Fed Daily interview clearly said this is not 70s, this is not stagflation. And somehow last week inflation expectation goes down more instead of going up. Then two hedge fund interview last week, PTJ and Bill Ackman. You know, Ackman have said we don't sell stock anymore. So there is huge FOMO buying in everything. And Paul Tudor John last week said clearly all road lead to inflation. So your rate cut by the rumor, that thing is still pending. And your second, election result by the rumor, sell the news. Be careful, if this thing triggered, then gold can break out below trend line. But it will happen on election result day, maybe not this week. Because last week there was sideways trend in gold. Because nobody will be buying gold a week before election. Now it is too late. Now it is time to trigger why the rumor, sell the news. Then there was one more interview last week which Nick think can be next Fed chair, which clearly hawkish. So that person clearly said Fed theory of inflation is totally wrong. If you see inflation as gold trading near 2800, then Fed is lying and his model is bad. So if you see the trend last week, it was feeling like flood of speaker last week, like emergency, that somebody want to make sure before election result that what is happening. And now it is clear all of those hedge fund and speaker have made one thing clear: nobody will wait for Biden or Powell to change their monetary policy or tone, but they have moved in direction where they will be trading before Fed the big change in policy. They have to find a way, otherwise on each rate cut, second inflation wave is real, it will only increase and go up and up. If you see Newmont stock weekly chart, then you can see last week there was total crash. It tested upper trend line, then breakout lower trend line, total market crash and trend reversal last week. So you can see somebody, maybe insider, they sold number one gold mining stock very hard 1 week before election. Technically it can be correction, retest of $52, then down again to return back to $60 area. I think gold will need to go $3,000, but this look like a big reversal. For intraday scalper, first support 2716, resistance 2750, then last can be 2800 psychological level, and major support will be 2680 area, same place where you have trend line. I don't believe this week GDP and NFP, they are more important than election result. So better you all focus on support and resistance level.